What up, y'all? What time is it? It's nation building time. That's right. Time for you to build your nation. That is your family. The thing that God gave you the most is your family. Everybody in your family has skills, talents, individuals, and things that God wants you to steward as you lead your family. Listen, I want you to, in this time, to spend intentional time building your household. I believe that is something in this lesson that will be sure to bless your family and your nation so that your house and your children's children will be blessed. When your nation is blessed, the nation is blessed. All right? Let me know. Check it out. Nation building. Here we go. Get in God's presence and you understand that. Build according to the blueprint. Number two, you build according to the blueprint. What blueprint? The blueprint of the revelation of your purpose and your identity, right? So first, when I'm building a nation, individually, I start and begin in the presence of God. I get a revelation of identity and purpose, and then I build my life, or I wrap my life around the blueprint and the understanding of that revelation. So many people are trying to, in the midst of unraveling destructive patterns and behaviors, because you built supplements around your life that was not according to the blueprint of God's divine design. Anytime you do this, you waste time, money, energy trying to undo or redo the dynamics of your life, when if you just spend some time in God's presence, it can prevent you from costly mistakes and a waste of time. It'll save you money from getting the wrong degree. It'll save you from marrying the wrong boo and having to recover from a divorce. It'll save you from spending energy. And how could you know? Just by getting in God's presence. And when you get a revelation of his presence, you build your life according to that blueprint. You see, when God arrests you in his presence to give you a revelation of purpose and identity, he's giving you a revelation or a vision of your purpose or a image for your nation. God grants every nation, every person, a vision for their life, a blueprint or a image for why they exist, why their family exists, what it is that's supposed to be their legacy, and what they are supposed to establish. God does not waste time with this, because this is primary, this is focus, this is what he trusts your family when he gives you a child or a seed. He trusts your mother, he trusts your father to raise you, to nurture you, to raise you up in the fear and the understanding of God and who he is, so your gifts and your talents and your ability can be channeled through the vehicle of the family. And so when God puts you in a family or gives you a family, he's giving you a vision or a blueprint or a purpose or a image of a preferred future. And so when God does this, he's teaching us after the patterns. We can learn so much from the patterns of God and understanding how he works, because it saves us time, right? So God paints this picture, he gives this imagery, and oftentimes you'll see in the Bible that he starts off with an unregenerated person and he gives them a revelation of himself, and then he changes their name. So you can't waste time talking about I wasted time and who I was and what you was and so what, because when you get a revelation of who God is, he gives you a revelation of who you are, and when you know better, you do better, right? Have I got a witness here? And so, yes, God starts with an ungenerated person. Even Abraham's name first was Abram, and then he changed his name to Abraham. Or you got Jacob, whose name eventually turned to Israel. Or you got Simon, whose name turned to Peter. Or Saul, whose name turned to Paul. So God often works with people, gives a revelation of them, and your old identity is washed away in your new identity, which also is attached to the purpose that he's assigned for you. You following what I'm saying? And so he starts with Jacob, but he interrupts his life and said, I don't want you to behave like a deceiver anymore. I want you to understand that you are Israel, which is the prince of God, and out of your life is coming nations. Are y'all following me? Any redeemed people in here that's not what you used to be in God? Change your name. right? And so usually when God changes a name, it's because he's giving a new name, is usually establishing a new identity. Y'all tracking with me? A new name is usually establishing a new identity. And the reason he does that is because destiny is settled in identity. Destiny is settled in identity is when you know who you are, that you can show up where you belong. Partially because when you know who you are, wherever you are turns into what you needed to be to facilitate who you are. Have I got some people in here that know how to make something out of nothing in the midst of anything because you take yourself with you, right? And so people spend a lot of time wasting energy about where they're going. When you get destiny conversations, people get excited because they want to get there. People love the destination. Nobody loves the process, right? But the reality is that when you start talking about identity, people are less interested in doing identity work than they are in doing destiny work. Because destiny makes you feel like you're moving, and identity makes you feel like you're standing still. But the secret is that when you do identity work, you're not really standing still because you're becoming more attractive for what you're assigned for. And really, you don't have to chase after things because stuff start coming looking for you. And the reason why some of y'all stuff can't find you is because you're not really who you're supposed to be.